Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to this edition of Chamber Chat. I'm the hostess of the show, Lauren Grimmick, and I'm also the Executive Director of the Melrose Chamber of Commerce. And as you know from watching our show, we are dedicated to promoting our local businesses in Melrose, Massachusetts. And tonight I'm really excited to have the Kim Perrotti team, Leading Edge Real Estate, here with me on the show. And as you can see, I've got the team here. So welcome, guys.
Thanks
for having
us.
So I'm going to let you guys kind of each introduce yourselves a little bit to the world. And Kim, we will start with you. It's Kim Perrotti.
So I'm Kim Perrotti. I've been in real estate for 22 years.
Wow.
Born and bred in Melrose,
Woo-hoo.
still here.
Yay.
Love it. I have a daughter who's 12 at the middle school. And I love the community. I can't seem to tear myself away.
I love it. That's great. Awesome. And Jay?
Yep, Jay Morneau. I've been in real estate about 7 years, all of it with Kim.
Okay, cool.
Yep, I grew up in Melrose, went to school here, currently live in Wakefield.
Yep, that's okay. We won't hold that against you.
Yeah, it's
We won't.
nearby.
They can tease you enough.
That's good though, so I can work in Wakefield and Melrose, so I
Yep.
can help these guys out.
True,
Yeah.
true.
So I live in Wakefield.
Yep.
My daughter goes to Wakefield Public Schools. So yeah.
That's good. Awesome. Nice town guy. And you, Lauren?
I'm Laura McGuire. I live here in Melrose.
Yep.
I've been in real estate for 4 years. I have been with the Kim Perrotti team for 2 years, and it's the best 2 years of my
Oh,
life.
good. That's so good. I will say, I get that sense from like the times that we've met or like had lunch. Like I get this like the team like name is like you guys like embody that. So that's really awesome. So Kim, tell me about like how you brought the team together or when it started.
Well, by chance, I guess. So Jay actually approached me
Yep.
and wanted to get into the business. And I sold Jay his house years ago. I've known
Okay,
him
well,
and his
that's neat.
wife. And I tried to talk him out of it a little bit, but he said no. He was definitely all in. So
Sure.
he came on board, and it's been great. It's been awesome. And then Lauren has been a short time, but it's been just an awesome addition. And I feel super fortunate that, we have this team and collaboration of people that just kind of have the same mindset and the same goals. And
Sure. Yeah, it's totally important.
yeah.
It's just like in any small business, you've kind of everyone on the staff has to
Yeah.
kind of be on board with
Absolutely.
the vision for it. So Jay, then what was your deciding factor? I mean, you knew Kim. Obviously, we know now that she sold you your house.
Yeah.
So then, how did you decide that you wanted to get into real estate?
I've always had an interest in real estate. Before
Sure.
I was in real estate, I worked at a personal lines insurance agency here in Melrose.
Yep.
And at the time, I was looking for something that was a little bit more flexible as well.
Yeah.
So I thought that, real estate, I've always had an interest in it. So
Yeah.
I figured that real estate would be a good way to go. And like I said, I've known Kim for many years.
Right. So that that synergy was already there ahead of time.
Yep, exactly. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me that I was going to, work with Kim.
Yeah, that's
So,
good. And you got to
yeah.
see firsthand, right? You could say, this is someone that I want to work with.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's pretty cool.
So yeah, and she did try to talk me out of it and say, it's tough, it's this, it's that. But no,
Right,
it,
yeah.
it's been great. For
That's
7 years
awesome.
I've been doing it, it's been great.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good team. And you, Lauren, newer to the team, but obviously an integral part. So what
Yeah.
drew you into the team?
Yeah, so I started real estate accidentally.
Yep.
My realtor sold my house and was like, maybe you should just come work with me. So I did, and I
Yep.
started with a different team at a different agency.
Yep.
And then we ended up all moving to Leading Edge.
Yep.
I ended up splitting from that team, thought I wanted to be solo for a while, and then kind of just was drawn to the KPT team. It just
I love
seemed like
it.
a natural fit.
Yeah.
And being a Melrose resident,
Yep.
living in Melrose, being a part of Melrose, it just felt right to be on a team that is doing it in Melrose.
Sure. No, that makes sense. And I'm getting this. I'm picking up all that good vibe from you guys, which is so important. So for like the lay people out there like myself who are not real estate, experts, the only kind of experience I have is buying or selling my own properties through, a professional, through a real estate agent. Can you just describe a little bit of like the dynamics of like a team? Like how do you all work together, right? Because like I've had like a restaurant on, and so we've got like the chefs, we've got like the managers, we've got the wait staff, and kind of everyone has a little bit of a different role, but you're kind of all doing some roles the same and some are different. So
We do. I mean,
Tell me a little bit about the team.
actually, similar.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're all in sales.
Yeah.
But I think that the team dynamic for us allows a little bit of flexibility in our schedules. We are covering for each other.
Sure.
We have that collaborative knowledge Lauren
Yeah.
likes to talk about.
Sure.
So, you know, I think, and we also have administrative staff,
Yep.
which is super important. So to have the team and kind of build it how you want it and have everybody to have a role, and even though that we're almost in competition with one another because we are selling, I think everybody brings a little something different to the table, and so we can all benefit from that.
That's good.
And our clients benefit from it.
Sure.
So
Sure. No,
it's good.
that makes sense. You like being part of the team versus at the time, 7 years ago, I guess you could have gone out on your own, right, or something like that.
Well, the team's a good fit. Like Kim said, you know, we help each other out. We all have our own clients.
Right.
So it's true, you know, Lauren may have a buyer or a seller. I'll have mine. But, you know, we can also bounce ideas off of each other
Sure.
as we go throughout the process. We can help each other. You know,
Right.
if Kim's on vacation, I'll cover, or Lauren will cover.
It doesn't seem as isolating, right?
no,
Or if
it
you've got
doesn't,
like
but
a
it-
challenging client
Right.
you're dealing with or a sale or something.
we
you've
can work
got-
together a little
Yeah.
bit, provided that we're not on the other side. So
Right,
like Kim
right.
said, we do have our own clients
Sure.
that we work with.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a good, I like the team approach. It's a good fit.
Yeah, it's a good fit, and you seem to like that as
I
well.
do, and
yeah.
I think it's great for the clients too, because you know only one person can do so much business and be so many
Sure.
places at once. You know,
Right.
it's like you go to a restaurant and you only have one server and you're waiting on your food and you're waiting on the order.
Right.
Well, if you have a team of people helping deliver your food and take your order and refill your glasses, then
the experience is
the
better,
experience
right,
is
for
going to
that
be so
person?
much
For
better.
Sure.
So we kind of feel that with the team approach, that you're giving a better service to your client because you have 4 people working for you instead
Right.
of 1.
That's great. No, I like that. So it's more of like a question for me, like how, you know, why is someone on a team versus, you know, doing it by themselves? So now that we kind of get the lay of the land of how you guys got together, I mean, you know, I think anyone who even just like reads a regular newspaper around here, never mind chamber chat, knows that, I mean, for the last several years, Melrose in particular has been like really hot, right? We've got like the hottest zip code. Oh, 22176, I know. So, I mean, do you guys have any thoughts on the, like, maybe why Melrose or why Greater Boston? I mean, we can go kind of in any direction that you guys want. I mean, you're the expert, so go around on the table.
Oh, man. Well, you know, living in Melrose, I
Yeah.
didn't always live in Melrose. I grew up
Yep.
in Stoneham. I lived in Woburn, sold my house
Yep.
in Woburn, and was just really drawn to Melrose.
Sure.
At the time, I was working in Melrose, and it just has this certain feel. I mean, anybody that lives here or wants to live here can just feel the energy that's here.
Right.
And a lot of people just say, I can't put my finger on it, but I'm just
Right.
drawn to it. So I think it's just a sense of community,
Yep.
a sense of openness, a sense of accepting everybody. And, you know, it's just a nice place to be.
Right.
And the homes are beautiful.
Sure. Sure. They're older, too. I mean, I know friends who sort of are buying in, like, the southern New Hampshire where there's, like, a ton of new development and building going on. And so they're able to get all the bells and whistles and design it, you know, soup to nuts how they want, picking out even the little knobs on their cabinets. But, you know, Melrose is not a lot of new, some, but not a lot of new construction. So you point that out, that people are drawn to that, right? The older
They're drawn to the charm, I think. and
Victorian
it's,
homes.
yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. What about you? What do you think of, why is it Melrose been
I think the
so much
proximity to
hotter?
Boston. I think that the small town feel. It's got a great downtown.
Yep.
And I think, believe it or not, although the values have increased quite a bit over the last 5-6 years, I
Yeah.
think that Melrose still has a lot of value to it as compared to like maybe Arlington. You know,
Sure.
people that want to try to get in that market or parts of Medford. You
Right.
know, there's some pretty good value in Melrose compared to those communities too.
Sure, sure. And I mean,
So-
especially for you two, I mean, growing up here, right, you kind of have seen,
Yeah.
maybe you weren't paying attention in high school to the real estate market,
Right.
maybe you were, but, right, there's maybe even more of a desire, right, to be here. And so some things have changed, but like we said, not a lot of new construction, not too many, new developments. The downtown has always been in existence,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So,
but it's thriving now. I
Right.
mean, the
Yeah.
downtown is awesome. I think people want walkability.
Yep.
Access to public transportation is huge.
Sure.
More people are just walking now.
Right.
And Melrose provides that kind of regardless of what pocket you might be in, you
Right.
still can grab a bus. You're close enough to the
Yep.
train. So I think just getting into town, I think that's quality of life for a
Right.
lot of people to take that,
Yeah, I mean,
additional commute off
we've
there.
got all those, we've got 3 commuter rail stations, right? Oak Grove,
Yep.
like you said, buses, so that proximity to transit for sure. So then what do you guys, I mean, you could kind of do, although, okay, we've established that Melrose has been like pretty hot, especially like recently, but, some of the surrounding towns, Metro Boston, you even mentioned like Arlington, there are other towns that, the real estate market has been doing really well. So, why Melrose for you, where you could have gone to any other team, why would you be wanting to be, kind of based here and be a Melrose business, I guess?
Yeah, so I was based in Somerville,
Okay.
and I live here.
Also pretty hot. I mean,
Super
if
hot.
we're talking just about, value and real estate prices, right? Especially recently, but
I think it has that charm.
Yeah.
And Melrose feels grounded.
yep,
It feels like an accessible place to be.
yeah,
And it just has that certain feel to it.
sure. And so how's the living, working here thing
I think
working
it's
out?
great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's nice that, I see a lot of my clients that buy here.
Yep.
I'm able to see them at Whole Foods. You
Sure.
see everybody. You just
Right.
have to make sure that, you're not looking like a mess when you
Right,
head
right.
to
You're not
Whole
totally
Foods.
caught off guard. Right, right, exactly.
So
yeah.
it keeps me on my toes a little bit, living
Good.
here and working here. But
Yeah.
overall, it's great.
Right, right. And
Short
so,
commute.
Right, exactly. Very good commute. And so then, having, established like yourself also in Wakefield, I mean, why do you consider, being a business in Melrose to be like important versus, again, right? You could set up another office.
Could
in
I? I mean, I
Wakefield.
grew up here. Yeah, no, I grew up in Melrose.
yeah.
So, and when we bought, working with Kim at the time,
Yeah.
we tried to find a house in Melrose, but we bought in '05 at the height of the last
Yeah, sure.
real estate
Yep.
boom, and we tried to find it in Melrose. I wanted to stay
Yeah.
here, but we ended up in Wakefield, and Wakefield's a great community.
Wakefield's awesome. It's got the lake. It
yeah.
also has the downtown.
Exactly,
you
but
know.
we're still drawn. I mean, growing
Sure.
up here, I know the area well.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable here. It's a great community. So I
Yeah.
think that, it was a good fit for me to be based out of Melrose.
Right, yeah, personally. Oh,
Yeah.
That's good. And for you, like having the team here versus in another, I guess, based in another office or focused on another market. I know that you sell and represent clients everywhere, but it seems like your roots were here and
Yep,
started there long
definitely.
ago.
I mean, I can't
so-
really imagine going
Anywhere
anywhere
else.
else.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of immersed. It's what I know.
Yeah.
And I think, being able to then relay that to your clients or give them kind of the little tidbits and backgrounds of things
Sure.
that you just know just from being here over the years.
Yeah, I imagine that there's, not only like a rich history that you get from growing up here. I live here too, but I'm only 5 years into my time here, so getting there. But the nuances of the community, or the little things you can even, I'm sure, people even probably love hearing, oh, this used to be something else, and this was here,
Right.
and so being able to really give that personal story versus like handing someone a brochure about
Right,
Melrose.
right.
It's like,
It's
yeah, this
just
would
the
be a great
connection,
community for you.
and
Like, you-
they then can feel a little bit more connected.
Yeah.
Having that.
That's
background,
that's
so,
good. No,
yeah.
I love that. And so then, thinking about like we're kind of getting into like springtime, what do you see as like some things that are hot in the market or current trends that you like just want to talk about for those of us who don't live and breathe this every day?
Hope for more inventory.
Yeah.
More inventory.
It's just
Okay.
a lack of inventory, yeah.
Okay, and then now is that, so I'll say like we're taping this right now, it's like end of February. So is this like is it because of the time of year, or is it a market, is it something happening in the market as well? What do you guys
I
think?
think
It's
it's
both.
time of year primarily.
yeah.
People think that they need to wait for the spring market
Right.
to list. So a lot of people are getting ready at this point to come on the market, but inventory is so low. We're telling everybody that we go out and meet. If you're
Right.
if you're ready sooner, come on, because when that influx of inventory hits, you have just that much more competition.
Sure.
And I do think that we'll see inventory pick up a little bit more this year.
Yep.
And I think that we'll still continue to see multiple offers on houses that are priced right.
Right.
I don't think that we'll see the 10 to 15 that we saw last year.
Right.
I think the new norm is probably going to be 1 to 3,
Sure.
but it still will be pretty competitive.
Right. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless you list with us, and you might get 3 to 5.
Right,
7.
yeah, full disclosure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We will get
sure.
more.
Well, and I think people should know too that, this market is hyper-local, and people might be hearing that the market's slowing down or it's depreciating, but
sure.
it's not.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
might see a depreciation in appreciation,
Right.
meaning it's still going to appreciate, but not
Yeah.
as quickly as it has over the past few years, but this market is still appreciating.
Right. No.
Still a strong seller's market.
Sure. Good to know. Good to know. Well, I'm here for at least a while, so I'm not going
We can't talk
anywhere.
you out
I'm
of
not.
it.
You can't. No, I love Melrose just as much as you guys do. And I just, on a kind of closing note, because believe it or not, this is all that we have time for. But I just want to thank you guys for all that you do for the community. You sponsor a lot of chamber events, a lot of sports things, a lot of youth things, and I know you volunteer a lot. So thank
Yeah,
you.
we're happy to
I'm
do
always
it.
so
Yeah.
impressed by our business community and all that they give back with their time and resources. So thank you guys. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for
Thanks for
being
having
on the
us.
show.
Thanks for
I
having
know
us.
you
Thank you.
guys always got work to do. So, but thank you.
After
But
showings.
well, hopefully you learned a little bit more, not only about the Kim Perrotti team leading edge real estate, but also just about the real estate market in general here in Melrose. And stay with us. We'll be taking a short break, and then we'll be back with another episode of Chamber Chat. Thanks so much.